Good blowing, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Daily Energy. I'm Maria Eden. The day is Ari Janu. Thini Vincent De Fry. It is the 17th day of January. The day's energy here is transitional energy. It is completion energy. It's accomplishment energy. It is energy that brings in endings. It brings in resourcefulness. It brings in preparation. And so, speaking of preparation, it's a good day to gather resources so that you can start your new beginning tomorrow, as tomorrow brings in a new beginning. Okay, this ending type of energy is when I tell you to know that endings are not endings, they are new beginnings in disguise. So when someone lets you go from your job, it's not a good idea to get trapped in the woe is me, what am I going to do? It's a good idea to tackle that thing and to see that thing like, okay, this is a new opportunity for me to get the money I deserve, to get the pay that I deserve, to get the treatment that I deserve, for an upgrade. This is a new opportunity. So you change the way that you look at the situation. And so for those of you who lost a loved one, hearts go out to you at this time, as there were many that transitioned into the spirit last night and this morning, and it started a few days ago, actually. And so, but just know that endings are new beginnings in disguise. Energy does not die, it transforms. Okay? So, for those, you're going to see a lot more funerals today. You'll see some wakes happening, some celebration of life over on the news over the next 1 to 3 days. You're going to also see holding vigils for those that have lost their life in some of the catastrophic events that came in. So we're seeing like a celebration of life here coming up. I'm also seeing that I see wake, but if you need to rest, then it's a good day. If you got everything that you needed to get done, to rest. It's a good day to rest so that you are not so that you can start fresh tomorrow, because tomorrow's a new beginning. I am seeing a holiday and festival coming up. So a lot of celebration energy coming in here. So this might be a very active weekend to some extent. I also see something coming in about an aircraft, a shift is significant, a ship, and a railway. I see a water being disturbed, and I see something about a ship. This could be the USS John F. Kennedy that is going out of commission. And so we may see people seeing that ship off if it has not already left. So we'll see more news about that and about its journey, possibly. I'm seeing something about backwash. Don't put your drink down. But wash and a passage. So the passage of the ship, that's why I said what I said with the John F. Kennedy. But I'm seeing water disturbed. So water disturbed, I've been getting earthquake, tsunami vibes here over the last, like towards the end of this cycle. I've been getting earthquake, tsunami vibes here. And so that could be what that water disturbance is. I'm also getting here, people are going to feel pressured. You might feel pressured to complete something because, you're reaching your deadline or you've reached your deadline. But I want you to know that whatever you don't complete today, don't be so hard on yourself about it, because a new beginning starts tomorrow. So just rework it and start it again tomorrow if you don't miss your deadline. Okay. But I do want to tell you that this is a very good day if you're seeking approval for something. If you have some documents that you need somebody to put a stamp on, it's a good day to call them up and check on the status of your stuff. And it's also a good day to submit your applications as well, or whatever it is. It's a good day, because today I feel like a lot of you are going to get some good news. It's not just about the bad news, it's also about the good news, because I see that there's going to be some approvals and some acceptances and some deals being made. Okay, so we're going to hear more about the deals being made, and this could be more details on the deals being made with the war efforts, because I am picking up on a lot of war energy. And so when one ends, another one begins, unfortunately. And so that's what I'm picking up here. So there's going to be more, because we are in these, I'm just going to say, a trumpet has sounded. And speaking of trumpet, there's something coming up. We're going to hear more about him coming in, and this could be the waving of one goodbye and the bringing of one hello. And so we're going to see more about that in the news over the next 1 to 3 days. All right. So a lot of intensity for some. And for others, they're going to feel lost. They're going to feel feeble and faint. I'm getting pale coming in and dim. So for some people, they lose their brightness. Things go dim as they lose they transition their loved ones, and they don't know how to find that hope. And they don't know what they're going to do next. So they fear the unknown. They fear the new beginning, because maybe your loved one held you down and they were all you could depend on. And if that's you, my friend, my heart really does go out to you, because I know it's not easy to lose, or seemingly lose, someone that was so important to you. I'm going to say so encouraging, so uplifting. And this person was likely someone that you could depend on, and they had your back. But just know that their energy is still around you, my friend. So they're going to be there watching over you and looking over you in your time of troubles and in your times of successes as well. Okay, so make sure you don't stay in that ditch for too long, but you take your time to mourn. You take your time, and you take all the time you need, because death is not something to get over. It is something to understand. Okay, understand that it's going to happen to everyone. Okay, but it's not something that you have to get over. But don't allow your loved one's life to be in vain. Right? When my daughter passed away, she passed away when shortly after she was born. But it was significant, because imagine wanting that from the time you were just a little girl, and that's all you ever wanted. And then finally, you carry her. And then she dies in your arms as you fighting for her life. And she's fighting for her life. And all the doctors are around telling you all kinds of things when you just see this perfect little child in your arms. You see? So I know what it's like to watch your loved ones transition. And it is definitely uncomfortable And it can definitely send you into a deep, dark place. It sent me to a deep, dark place, and it was so hard for me to get out of there, friend. And if I'm honest with you, I can tell you that I'm still not all the way out. I stand on obedience and I stand on faith because I know that her energy is still around me because I hear her all the time. I feel her presence all the time. She talks to me in music and songs. It had me bawling too. I be just like boo-hooing because I know it's her talking to me. And some others that were near and dear to me have passed, and they talk to me in music and songs. I hear them all the time. And so if you're sensitive to the spirit and you get past your woe is me and you just surrender to all of that, you surrender, but you fight. You gotta surrender, but you still fight for your life. You see? And so I had to start fighting for my life again. And that's what many of you seeing now. Me fighting for my life. You see? And so your loved ones, your ancestors are assisting you and walking you through to the other side of your troubles, to the other side of your pain. And they want you to continue on because they want you to see it as they completed their assignment. And my daughter said to me in the spirit, and I'm going to tell you this story, actually. I'm going to tell you this story, and then I'm going to move on of why I say that I know she talks to me. So not only was I listening to music one day while I was cleaning, her name was Sky, and that's just her. I have Sky, my Aunt Brenda, my dad, and more. And they all do the same thing. They all talk to me when I'm cleaning the house. and so she'll come on and she'll start talking and she'll make it known that it's her. You know that song that says, what is it? You're a sky in the star. That's the song that at the time her father sung to her. You know, I forget the words of the song, but it comes on all the time. And that's her introduction saying, "Hey, it's me. How you doing?" But anyways, so if I wasn't certain of that, one Mother's Day, I was on YouTube and I was watching this seer, and she was doing a tarot reading. And I can't remember her name either because I'm bad with that. But on one Mother's Day, I'm just sitting there listening to her. And she says, "Oh my gosh." She said, "Someone's child passed away shortly after birth." And she said, their name was Sky. And she said, she wants you to know that she loves you, that she's still with you, and that when the time is right, she'll come back to you again. She got scared, and so she went back to heaven. And the reason why I found that to be true is because I knew what she was scared of. She was premature. And so because she was premature, the doctors were saying all kinds of stuff about how she wasn't going to be able to do this and how she wasn't going to be able to do that. And you don't understand that when your child is in your womb, they are learning and they can hear. And so she heard all of that they were saying, and she got afraid. She was scared. But at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason, because I was in room number 316. And so I was asked, 316, what does 316 mean? Significant. And I said, it means, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever shall believe in him shall not perish, but shall have everlasting life. I went in labor at 3 o'clock in the morning. I gave birth to her at 3. So everything was happening in threes, and that was God telling me, I gave my only child. It's time for you to give yours. You see, I walked out, didn't know anything about, I didn't name her. Her father named her. I was numb. I was still hopeful. For some reason, I still thought Father was going to breathe life back into my baby, because I could not understand at that time. I thought he was going to, I held on to that hope until I couldn't hold on to it anymore, until the reality hit me. And we walked outside 3 days later. And all of a sudden, my baby's father was like, look at your car. And the whole time, my child's name was in my license plate, and I didn't even know it. Sky. And I didn't even name her. He named her. And he didn't even know it. So everything happens for a reason, and there's no such thing as a coincidence. But because everything happens for a reason, we have to be in alignment with divine timing. Okay? But energy does not die. It recycles. Okay? So your loved ones will be back. All right. So I'm seeing dim and pale here, dull and fable. So try to make sure you still live while you still have breath. Okay. I'm seeing flightless. So something about, now when I see bird and flightless, I always think it's an aircraft. Okay. Something about flightless. Or maybe it's you feeling like you're flightless, but you still have feet. You know, sometimes what ends up happening, and for even though some of you might not have feet, you still have hands. For some of you that don't have hands or feet, you still have nubs. And this is not making fun or mocking. This is me saying, where there's a will and there's a way. I am so proud of this generation of the chosen that's saying, I don't have a disability, I have an ability. Shoot, y'all are even showing me up and causing me. You are breathing life back into me. You are causing me to get energized and get back out here. If it wasn't for some of you speaking life into me, back into me, and giving me back a spark, child, I don't know where I would be. I'm going to be honest. And I'm going to be real, because I have this tendency of changing polarity. They call it bipolar. But my change in polarity has a lot to do with I'm here, but really I sometimes don't want to be here, because I know I come from up there. And so it's like to come down from your spiritual heights down low, it's shocking. And it's like, Lord, I don't want to be here. And it's shocking because you have those highs and lows, and people see it as bipolar, but they don't understand you're really fighting for your life. You're fighting for your life. 1 minute you're up, because you know you're spiritual. And so you tell that thing that's down, oh, I'm not going to be down there with you. I can't do that with you. I'm a spiritual being. And then when you get down, it pulls you down. For a time, you get down there and you're uncomfortable there because you know you have to balance. You know you have to balance the spiritual and the physical. And you have not yet mastered that in between. And I tell people all the time, I am the enemy of both sides because I stand in the middle. Okay? I am an enemy to both sides because I stand in the middle. All right? So the wave that I'm getting the wave, the moving of a hands. As long as you don't throw your hands up and give up. Okay? As long as you don't throw your hands up and give up. Throw your hands up in praise. As that's what today's energy is bringing in. It's bringing in praise. But don't give up. I see signs and I see signals. So you'll be seeing signs and signals. And whatever the sign and signal is, don't ignore it. I never forget one time when Father was sending me on my prophetic initiation. I didn't know what it was at that time. But he was sending me on my prophetic initiation. And he told me to leave everything. And I was scared not to at that point. And so I went out there on them streets and them streets. And he started testing me. And he said, go tell this person this. And I was like, you know what they gonna say to me? I ain't ready for all that. Do you know what these people gonna say to me? You know how they gonna look at me? They gonna look at me like I'm crazy. They gonna look at me like something is wrong with me. No. But you tell Father no too much. Eventually, you learn to do better. So I said, okay, I'm just gonna write it down on a piece of paper. I'm gonna hand it to him and I'm gonna walk away. And so he worked at the train station. And so I gave him the letter and I said, don't open this until I walk away. And so I walked away and then here he comes. He comes out and he said, sister, you don't know how much I needed to hear this today. And then he said, I'm a prophetess. He said, I'm a prophet. And he said, now let me prophesy over you. He said, when you see the sign, he said, don't ignore it. And to this day, I think I saw the sign and I think I ignored it. I think I saw the sign and I think I ignored it. And I said, no, I missed my mark. I saw the sign and I ignored it because I didn't know what I was looking for. At least this is my thought process. I saw the sign, but I ignored it because I didn't know what I was looking for. Sometimes that's the case, or you go through life and you forget what's prophesied over you. You can't forget what you've been told, what God told you himself. It's one thing to be told by a prophet, but it's another thing to be told by God. Some of you have been told by God. I have been told by God. So it doesn't matter what anything else looks like. It doesn't matter because I have been told by God. And even though sometimes I sit there and I seem like I'm insecure, I always go back to what I've been told by God. You see? And so when you see the sign, my friend, don't ignore it because synchronicity is a real thing. Okay, you watch for the synchronicities. If you ask God a question, wait for God to give you the answer because it will show up in the form of people sometimes, and it will show up in the form of a bird. You see, it could have been something as simple as a dove coming with an olive branch in its mouth. It could have been something as simple as the ram in the bush. There is a ram in the bush. So you want to look, not necessarily look for the sign, but you want to pay attention. And if it's happening over and over again, if you're seeing the same numbers over and over again, you're waking up at the same time every single day, Google what those numbers mean. If you're seeing butterflies, if you come home and all of a sudden there's a big butterfly on the door. I looked at my neighbor one day and there was a big butterfly on her door. And I said, oh, well, that's interesting. You're going to get some interesting news here come today or very soon. And I was like, yeah, somebody pregnant. Somebody expecting, you expecting something. And sure enough, she comes home later and she says, you know what it was? I just found out I'm pregnant. I said, that butterfly was just sitting there a little bit too long and it was big. It was like one of the biggest monarch butterflies I had seen. And I said, no, that's significant. So you want to pay attention to the sign. See, she didn't notice the sign because she didn't know what to look for. You see? So anywho, meanwhile, back at the ranch, it's all coming to a head today. All right. All right. So, I'm seeing there's going to be a ripple effect. Okay. Ripple is significant. What you do today, it will affect your tomorrow. So if you don't prepare today, if you don't gather your resources today, you might have to do it tomorrow. And tomorrow, although it's a new beginning for some of you, it's the beginning of a cycle. Some people go in weeks, I go in cycles. Okay? And tomorrow is a new beginning. The number is 1 through 9, baby. On the clock, even the clock uses 1 through 9. Okay? It all boils down through 1 through 9 and 10. You begin again. Okay? So that's the cycle here. And so you want to gather your resources today. If you need to go to the store, go to the store. I'm getting something about a flutter, a swing. Moving is significant as well. Moving is significant as well because I'm getting energy about the housing. So we're going to hear something on the news about housing over the next 1 to 3 days. Something coming in about housing. White horse. White horse. Y'all think that's not significant. But knowing that I know what I know that I know this white horse is significant. You go back to Revelations and you think about that white horse. I'm still trying to connect the dots. But that white horse is significant. Okay? I don't think it's just in the energy, but we are going to see more about livestock and horses coming in. I am getting billow. And I am getting something about breakers. So it's going to get windy, but I'm saying for places where has been fires for you over the next 1 to 3 days, I'm praying for rain. Okay. Now I checked I checked the weather a couple of days ago and I didn't see it. But for you, I'm praying for rain. And I'm not praying for it. I'm telling you, it's going to happen, okay? It's going to rain on some of those fires. No, it's going to rain on those fires. I'm not even going to say on some of those fires. It's going to rain on those fires over the next 1 to 3 days. If it's not already raining, it might already be raining, okay? All right. So, and I'm getting an increase in phenomenon, okay? I'm going to say, there are miracles and blessings. If you believe, there are miracles and blessings. There are miracles and blessings for you and me, okay? All right, if you believe, you will receive. All right, so we see a flow here, something coming in about a flood in the stream, okay? Tide. So I'm getting really strong. Yeah, so we getting water coming in. All right, coil loop, disturbance of movement. Okay. See something about a disturbance in the news over the next 1 to 3 days. I am getting riot-like energy here. I'm getting gatherings coming together. Of course, I told you there's going to be celebrations. And because of the coming togethers and it being a weekend, we're going to see an increase in activity. And sometimes that increase in activity on a day like this brings in massive loss, massive endings, as the transition of life toll goes up. Okay. Because what was it yesterday? I got Rob energy. So that energy's still here for the next 1 to 3 days. So you want to make sure that you keep something on you for protection. Yesterday, I got mace. So for some of you, it could be as simple as carrying some mace. Okay. Let's see. And if you are investigating a body, I'm seeing something about a scratch. Okay. Something about a scratch might be significant. All right. You're going to hear some dogs barking today, because I got bark. It could be dogs barking. It could be natural medicine, as I got yesterday. It could be like, cinnamon is made from the bark of a tree. Did you know that? Cinnamon is made from the bark of a tree. And so bark may be significant. It could be tree bark, okay? I'm seeing a wealthy man coming in that's immoral, okay? A wealthy man coming in, fashionably so, but they are immoral and they are a playboy, all right? So if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. All right. In this sense, anyways. And it doesn't have to be a wealthy man. It could be a wealthy woman. Set something sloping edge. Something is going to be the edge. I'm going to say you're on the edge. You're on the precipice of a breakthrough. And before daybreak tomorrow, it's like you're on the precipice of the breakthrough and you're going to break through, okay? But this edge is coming in. So there's significance here about an edge cutting. Could be somebody getting a haircut today, okay? Face cutting edge up tools. Okay. So we may hear something about coming in about barber school, barber college, about barbers or something like that. Hair cutting, cuts, fashionable things concerning the head. Railway carriages, herds, and colts. A prank that goes wrong, okay? We'll see more pranks going wrong, or we'll see more pranks being highlighted in the news. Maybe there's ordinances placed on pranking, or something of another, okay? We're going to hear more, an announcement of some sort about something that's hidden, something that was unknown to the public, that's going to be published and broadcasted to the public over the next 1 to 3 days. All right. We're also going to talk widely. Hear more about like what I'm doing right now, like literally right now, talking too much and rambling. So you're gonna look, it's gonna babble, ramble, but we're gonna hear or see someone being in that seeming like incoherent, as if they're like intoxicated and they're talking incoherently or something, or some kind of ramble here in the news over the next 1 to 3 days. Or we're going to see someone saying that that's what somebody was doing. And so there's going to be speaking and writing about something with great enthusiasm and admiration, praise, express, and delight. And so we know what's coming up, and we saw that kicked in yesterday, to where we expressed gratitude and admiration for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Then we see recommendations coming in, appraisal, tribute, and bouquets. So we see recommendations. So it's the day to get recommendations. It's the day that you're going to get some insight, people telling you basically what you can do to go to the next step, to go to the next level. So you're going to hear more recommendations. Maybe somebody's going to recommend you for a job. And if they're recommending you for a job, go for it, my baby. Go for it, my baby. Because like I said, this is the day that you will likely get the stamp of approval. Okay. So put in them applications, submit them resumes. If you're getting an appraisal, I'm gonna claim that you're getting favorable results, okay? Because favorable is a word of the day. So it is a day to go get it. So I'm getting reunion here. So it's going to be a reunion, a coming together. You may reunite with someone that you have not seen in a very long time over the next 1 to 3 days. You also may see something about a reunion coming up in the news over the next 1 to 3 days, because this is the energy that I am reading. I'm getting party, dancing, drinking, social gathering. Okay. So a lot of natural phenomenons coming up. So we're going to hear more about that. It's almost giving me like documentary vibes, like Earth documentary vibes or something like that. I am seeing a warning cry. It's talking about a warning cry during a hunt. And so that's more warnings. Warnings like, if you do this, I promise you we going to war. If you do this, I promise you we going. That type of energy is what I'm seeing here. So they're also encouraging you to be on guard and watchful. This is what I'm getting. So also in the news over the next 1 to 3 days, we may see a police search, a significant police search to where they'll tell you to be on the lookout for this person. Okay, this could be an escaped convict. This could be a predator of some sort. But I'm seeing that they're going to be on the lookout over the next 1 to 3 days. Something's one, but okay. And that's why I said have some protection. I see sports coming in. Damage, erode, destroy, friction is what I'm seeing here. So this is in the energy. Allow, permit, authorize, sanction, condone, approve of. That's why I was telling you earlier about. And so take those words and use those words to kind of know what next move you should do, you should make. If you're, it's likely, you do it today, it's likely it's going to be approved of. It's likely to you going to be permitted. Now look, now if you got all the way bad credit, I did say there are miracles. There are miracles and blessings. There are miracles. Remember, I stepped on that scale the other day and it said 217. I said, now, Father, I just know I was 250 just yesterday. And I know Tybo didn't do that in one day. And it said I just kept stepping on that scale, and I kept stepping on because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. 217. When did I become 217? And I said, okay, let me see. And then I stepped on that scale 10 times, about 10 times. And then next time I stepped on that scale, it jumped back up to like 249. I said, now you play too much. But I stepped on the scale yesterday, and the scale said it did somewhat of the same thing for a little bit. But it said, because at first it said I was like 230, 233. And I was like, now I know I done lost some weight, but I don't believe that. So I stepped on it again, and it said I was 244. So I want to say I lost about 5 or 6 pounds. So we're headed in the right direction. I eat cabbage every day. Pretty much. I love cabbage. I'm gonna tell y'all what I eat. I do my cabbage and my onions. And I put just a little bit of oil, but I'm gonna do fish oil. I'm gonna start doing fish oil, but I don't know what kind of oil I'm using now. But I put a little bit of oil, and then I saute it, and then after I do that, I let that brown up. Then I put some water in it, and then after I do that, I cook me a cup of noodles, one of those little cup of noodles. Now it ain't the best, but I cook me a little cup of noodles. I put that on for 3 minutes. I put my egg in there, and I scramble my egg because I ain't vegan, y'all. And when I do that, after my noodles are done, I pour my noodles in my little mixture, and I eat that every day. I eat that like once a day, and pretty much that's all I've been eating for the last week or so, because I don't know. I just, that's not my problem. My problem is the cookies, cakes, and ice cream, because I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Take that back. I don't have nothing. I had PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And so for those who had PCOS, it was difficult for them to lose weight. And, some people it's acne. Some people, they get the beard and the mustache. That's why you see, never mind. All right. So I'm getting here, that ramble again. Cereal. Something, we may see something in the news coming about cereal. Ooh, but that could be the serial killer. Now they say that ain't no serial killer out here and about in these streets, on these streets. But it might be a serial killer. But I'm hoping that it's just cereal, okay, that we're going to hear in the news or so. All right. Okay. You know why I keep going on these rambles? Okay, I got Bible, Noah's Ark coming in. We're going to, I seen this thing that said something along. I seen this yesterday. That could be just a reminder. And it was talking about, they said basically ignore the people that call you crazy, because the crazy people built Noah's Ark. Okay, built the ark. The crazy people built the ark. They said the experts built the Titanic. Ain't that something? They said crazy people built the ark. The experts built the Titanic. And I was like, whoa. Okay. That was a good way to live. Because All right. So I see shelters coming in, places of accommodation, housing, that type of thing, panic, dismay. This is the energy here. So you want to focus on the home front as well to a certain degree. If you're looking for a home, I'm going to claim you're going to find it today. Don't put it off to tomorrow. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So meetings, farewells, shoutings and farewells, partings, paying respect with fear of the unknown, loss of words, rabbi, spiritual teacher, tutor, sage, mentor, leader. I am also getting AEW and Raw. So we may see more about wrestling coming in about over the next 1 to 3 days. Traditional things being traditional over the next 1 to 3 days. So we see ceremonies over the next 1 to 3 days. Ceremonies. Okay. New untrained, inexperienced, the novice. Okay. Inexperienced, the novice. Okay. I'm experienced, but I'm inexperienced. I'm experienced, but I'm inexperienced. Once you finish one cycle, you go into another cycle. And it's like, or you go into another phase when you finish one phase and you go into relearning. You go into learning. I'm in the learning phase. Well, no, I'm out of the learning phase, but I'm still in the learning phase. You never get out of learning. You're always learning. Even though I say I know, I know not yet as I ought to know. Okay. But you get out of one phase and you go into the next phase. And then you have to learn that phase that you just got into. And so I feel like that's kind of the energy here. When we see untrained, unexperienced, we get a novice. This could be a student coming in that we may hear something about some students or a student or something having to do with school over the next 1 to 3 days. Freezing, icy, and cold rain coming in. Cold rain. I said cold rain. I don't think that was a coincidence. But things are going to get cold again. I see conflicts and discussions of risk of holding a certain position, okay? A discussion of risk of holding a certain position. Well, I love y'all, my friends. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. You take care of yourself and each other. Hearts go out. You get a heart. You get a heart. Hearts go out. I'm holding my phone, so I can't do it right today. But let's see. You get a heart. You get a heart. Hearts go out. Hearts go out. Bye.